Sometimes writers have really good reasons for keeping us in the dark about vital plot information, and sometimes they don't. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 video game plot holes you can't explain. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at plot holes which were not explained in the initial versions of these games upon their release. Some may have been resolved using behind-the-scenes content, but if it wasn't explained in the game itself, it still counts as a plot hole. And it goes without saying that there are major spoilers ahead. Number 10, Eli Steals Sahelanthropus, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Goodbye, Father. I don't need you anymore.
We all know that the main focus of the Metal Gear series is destroying the eponymous Metal Gear mechs, capable of launching nuclear weapons and looking really cool. So, for sure, child soldier Eli stealing one of them near the end of Metal Gear Solid 5 should be a major issue. And yet, the game seems to completely forget that this even happened. It just ends without addressing the whole stolen giant war machine thing. This plot hole is no doubt the result of developer Hideo Kojima's feud with publisher Konami, as the game was rushed to release and the final mission, which we assume resolves this, was omitted, essentially leaving the person who would become Liquid Snake in possession of a doomsday device that never comes up in the other games.
I'm free to die however I wish. Yes, free.
Number 9, Queen Myrrah, Gears of War 3.
Listen to me, Marcus Phoenix. I will not let my people die. We have a right to live, a right to this world.
You'd think that, given how winning the endless war against the Locust Horde is the main aim of the Gears series, Epic Games wouldn't skimp out on explaining who the enigmatic leader of this army was. Except that they did. Throughout Gears of War 3, it's hinted at that the leader of the Locusts may in fact be main character Marcus Phoenix's own mother. When players finally came face to face with Queen Myrrah, they were all expecting this reveal, but it never came. We still don't know who she really was, nor how what appears to be a human came to be the commander-in-chief of the entire Locust Horde.
Feel that.
Number 8, Pandora's Box, God of War and God of War 3. Kratos needs to absorb the power of Pandora's Box in order to kill Ares. The first time he tries to do this, Ares kills him instead and sends him to the underworld, where he only escapes thanks to a gravedigger later revealed to be Zeus in disguise. But by the third game, the central plot is that Zeus has become obsessed with killing Kratos in order to stop him from using Pandora's Box a second time in order to defeat him. This begs the question of why, in the first game, did Zeus ever help Kratos retrieve Pandora's Box to begin with? Especially since Pandora's Box is famously never supposed to be opened.
Pandora?
She is the key to destroying the flame, the key to our revenge.
Number 7, not recognizing Makarov, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Remember, no Russian.
The No Russian mission in Modern Warfare 2's campaign was one of the most controversial things Call of Duty, or a video game, has ever done. But more controversial than the player mowing down hundreds of innocent civilians is the glaring plot hole that this mission creates. Namely, the fact that nobody in the airport or on the security cameras recognizes Makarov, one of the most well-known terrorist leaders in the world, as he marches in with a heavily armed entourage and starts killing people without wearing a frickin' mask. Plus, how exactly did they walk into the airport without being caught by police? I guess we just decided to skip that detail.
That was no message. This is a message.
Number 6, Ethan's Blackouts, Heavy Rain. Ethan Mars is the tortured father of one dead son and one missing son who suffers from frequent blackouts. During these blackouts, he randomly shows up at another location holding an origami figure in his hand, convincing both Ethan and many a player that he was the origami killer. But since he isn't the origami killer, these blackouts are a red herring which are never fully explained during Heavy Rain. Instead, bonus content on the game disc revealed that the blackouts were part of Ethan's paranormal connection to the killer, allowing him to make origami and see the killer's victims. But this was removed before release, and no other explanation is offered in its place. Number 5, 35% unemployment, and society is fine. Detroit, Become Human.
There you go.
Hi.
Another game from Heavy Rain's developers Quantic Dream, Detroit Become Human also has a major plot hole at its very core. Throughout the game, we're told that androids are stealing human jobs and that unemployment is at 35%.
They took our jobs!
This would be the highest unemployment rate in US history, with the previous highest rate being 25% during the Great Depression. You know, the worst point in the economy ever. Despite this, all we see of these problems are a few protesters and some resentful lines of dialogue. So 2030's Detroit remains a futuristic metropolis despite all of this. Unemployment rates also don't impair people's ability to afford the expensive androids, causing the unemployment in the first place. Jobless Todd manages to buy 2 androids and fund a drug habit. What's going on?
It was a bit difficult getting it back in working order.
Okay.
It was really messed up. What'd you say happened to it again?
The car hit it.
Number 4, A Tourist Trap, Silent Hill, and Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday.
Apparently, vacationing in an empty town once known for its evil sun god worshipping murder cult is par for the course for the people in the Silent Hill games. Silent Hill 2 tells us that James and Mary Sunderland's favorite vacation spot before her death, their special place, was Silent Hill. However, Silent Hill was set in 1993, which is at least 15 years after the demise of the cult and the abandonment of the town according to the game's own canon. With this in mind, it makes no sense that James and Mary would visit Silent Hill when it's little more than a creepy-ass ghost town.
What could she mean? This whole town was our special place.
Number 3, Jack the Orphan, Bioshock.
Welcome back, child. Welcome to the city where you were born.
Over the course of Bioshock, you discover that you're playing as Jack, Andrew Ryan's genetically warped 2-year-old son aged up to 19 after being given growth hormones by Tenenbaum and Suchong. He becomes a sleeper agent who is ultimately brought back to Rapture, killing both Ryan and Frank Fontaine. But one question the game fails to answer is how Jack survived after being launched up to the surface of the ocean in a bathysphere, since despite his age, he was essentially a 2-year-old with no real life experience and only a bunch of fake memories. How exactly did he manage to even get himself on the plane?
Son, you're special. You were born to do great things.
Number 2, Phoenix Downs, Final Fantasy VII. The Final Fantasy series, well, like pretty much every RPG ever, has revive potions that you can use to resurrect your fallen allies in battle, called Phoenix Downs. The existence of these potions means that death essentially becomes meaningless, except when it's convenient for the plot, that is. Like when Aerith dies partway through Final Fantasy VII. While you'll have used hundreds of Phoenix Downs during your campaign, now that there's an actual story reliant on a major character death, suddenly nobody has the idea to just bring Aerith back to life. Number 1, once bitten, you're not infected. Various zombie games. Everyone knows that when a zombie bites or scratches you, you also turn into a zombie. That's true for literally every piece of zombie media out there, including video games. So why is it that when you, the protagonist, are bitten, you don't join the undead hordes? While admittedly it's explained that the main characters are immune in the Dead Island games, in series like Dead Rising and Resident Evil, as long as you have food or some herbs on you, you're pretty much completely safe from ever turning into a zombie, no matter how many times you're exposed to the virus. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.